This news update is brought to you by...
Say hello to Carol. Carol talks for a living, from morning till night. So she relies on Flow's crystal clear home phone service brought to her through Flow's 100% fiber to the home network. It keeps her in the know, and because she bundles her mobile broadband and TV services, she enjoys huge savings, so she can enjoy much more for much less. So visit any Flow retail outlet, call 1-800-804-2994, or visit discoverflow.co to find out more. One-of-a-kind connection. This is how we flow.
It's Thursday, March 17, and time for the Barbados Today Evening Update. I'm Fernella Wedderburn. Thanks for joining us. Workers at the Barbados Water Authority will remain off the job as long as is necessary. So says General Secretary of the Barbados Workers Union, Tony Moore, who also makes it clear that the action being taken by workers is not simply about money. Yesterday, Minister responsible for the authority, Dr. David Estwick, warned workers against taking action over a pay dispute which dates back to 2006. But Moore told reporters today that is simply not the case and accused the BWA management of not following proper industrial practices.
The workers are demonstrating. The workers are demonstrated not simply because money is owed to them. The workers are demonstrating because, yet again, the management of the Water Authority is proving that trust, respect, and honoring of commitments are not words in their vocab that are more than words in their vocabulary. They are not acting in accordance to sound industrial relations practice as we know it in Barbados.
Meantime, BWU shop steward Carl Boy says all categories of workers will remain off the job until the union is satisfied.
I want the public in Barbados to understand that we are in no fight with them, and that the management of the Barbados Water Authority is who to blame in all of this, because all we were simply looking for is a proposal to go forward, and they have promised to bring a proposal since the 15th. So then she explained to the public why they are not bringing a proposal to the union so that we can go forward. We are willing to work, and we show up for work. But where is the proposal? Some of us are colleagues who live in St. Peter and who live in St. George, some who don't get water. But the Water Authority is not showing up for proposal until because they know that the majority of people in St. Peter and St. George, that the water is flowing. So that is a question that the Water Authority should ponder on.
Prove yourself. Finance Minister Chris Sinker tells public service vehicle operators they must first demonstrate they are willing to work with government to improve transportation on the island before they can talk tax concessions. PSV operators and owners have been agitating for an ease when accessing vehicle parts for some time now, with no success. But speaking in Parliament yesterday, Sinclair made it clear that they would first need to help government reduce, that is, the cost of public transportation under the Transport Authority's Service Integration Pilot Project.
We are going to work with the PSVs because we're going to say to them, we're going to see how serious you are about working with the government in terms of public transport. And I'm saying to them, don't keep noise out there. You want duty-free concessions, you want this and that. Demonstrate to us that you are serious in working with the transport board to help transport people across the country, reduce our cost of public transport, and then you could come and talk to me about duty-free concessions. So I'm giving them an incentive. Work with us. Make the system work. Help us to reduce costs, and we will help you too. And I think that's a fair way to do it.
Meantime, Transport Minister Michael Lashley today revealed that the first phase of the electronic vehicle registration system will be implemented soon. But first, he says the ministry will need to revisit the Road Traffic Act to make the necessary amendments. However, Lashley says the project will see changes to the current license plates.
It involves the installation of reader sites, because our information speaks to the fact that we have a number of non-compliant persons out there on the road in breach of the obligations under the Road Traffic Act. And the fact is that the system we have at the licensing authority, even something as simple as the demarc point system that the member for St. George North like to trumpet. We weren't able, in fact, the ministry weren't able to have the best of system in place. The best of system in place to properly administer the merit point system. And the fact that in the information that the legislative authority wish we had issues in getting that information. But I'm saying that it would increase our revenue stream.
He also says the development of a future clean transport policy for the country is also in the works. A Barbadian and Vincentian have been remanded to prison until April 14 on drug charges. 40-year-old Copeland Arindale Brown of Bricken Road, Grisette St. Michael, and 27-year-old Aldane Allen D. Bristol were not required to plea when they appeared in the District A Magistrates Court today on joint charges of possession, trafficking, possession with intent to supply, and importation of 371.58 pounds of cannabis. The two were arrested after law enforcement officials intercepted a speedboat 3 nautical miles off the west coast of the island. The boat was also seized. In sports, Swiss investigators launched criminal proceedings against former FIFA General Secretary, that's Secretary General Jerome Valky. He was sent on leave and released from his duties back in September after football's world governing body said it had been made aware of a series of allegations involving him. He is not currently under arrest but has been questioned by investigators looking into various acts of criminal mismanagement.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
Secure your future, be financially strong. Since 1983, we have been there for you. A smart range of products, great tax benefits. We're the solution to your hopes and your dreams. The Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union. The Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union. Humble beginnings to smart loans, smart savings. Save smart and borrow smarter. That's the move for me. Stability, prosperity. We're the solution to your hopes and your dreams. The Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union. The Barbados Workers Union Cooperative Credit Union.
Get your paper, get your paper. Only $2.25, $2.20. Who? For what? That's the Bear Stare News. I don't read about that from Barbados today since last night. That can't only can't do. $2.20. Who?
Barbados Today. News you can trust.
To news from the region, engineers in St. Vincent are investigating what caused the partial collapse of a building in Kingstown. There are no reports of injuries or damage to other properties when the building, which houses the Horseshoe Restaurant on Grenville Street, gave way. An engineer in the Ministry of Works told Eyewitness News that the collapse may have been due to the age of the structure. More job losses in Bahamas' tourism sector as the country's largest private employer downsizes. 30 middle management staff at the Atlantis Paradise Island resorts are now on the breadline, and there are fears that more layoffs may be in the pipeline.
Sources tell ZNS News that in that group were 3 vice presidents who reportedly earned a combined salary of more than $400,000 a year. Director of Labor Robert Farquharson says labor officials were apprised of the pending layoffs last week. He says Atlantis executives have cited planned renovations at the Coral and Beach Towers as the reason for the redundancies.
It's about a little over $30 million investment. Approximately 450 employees are assigned to that tower. The company has decided to utilize the services of those 450 employees in a variety of ways, including in other areas of the resort and for those who choose to work on the construction site itself.
Internationally, a Brazilian judge blocks the appointment of ex-president Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva as chief of staff to his successor, shortly after he was sworn in. The judge's injunction said there was a risk a federal investigation could be derailed if Lula was a minister. In Brazil, cabinet members can only be investigated by the Supreme Court, not by federal courts. Lula is under investigation in connection with a corruption scandal. The government says it will appeal the decision. And that's news and sports. But for the very latest, visit our website, www.barbadostoday.bb. Also subscribe to our e-paper, email updates, and like us on Facebook. We're also on Izumi Media in bus terminals or screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you, as well as Channel 99 on Flow TV and Mix 96.9 FM. I'm Fernella Wedderburn. Good evening.